Hi, I'm Dean with Old English Outfitters, and today we're going to be talking about the Ruger Mark IV Silencer Shop exclusive. So this is, of course, the Silencer Shop exclusive. The SSH is the actual model number. A customer of ours special ordered one of these in and gave us permission to use it for a video. So thank you to you, sir. You know who you are. We were kind of excited to test this because at face value, you might think it's kind of boring. It's just a shorter barrel, the standard 2245 frame. There's not really a lot going on. Comes with a Picatinny rail. However, we did have a theory that this would actually work better for suppression in addition to just looking better and having an overall shorter package. And we did a lot of testing to prove that point. Before we get to the hard numbers, let's just go over the details. So this is the Mark IV 2245 light frame. It's a polymer frame, and it has a standard upper assembly here. You would think it being the Mark IV light that it would be lightweight, but it is not. This thing, without the suppressor, is a couple ounces heavier than a standard Mark IV light. This one without the suppressor is 31.5 ounces, whereas the standard is 26.15 ounces. That is due to the heavy barrel. Even though it is short, this is the all-steel heavy profile. Normally on the Mark IV lights, you'll have an aluminum housing and then a very thin pencil barrel that's supported by that housing. This is the all-steel bull barrel profile. Now, you probably want that for a little bit better accuracy with as short as this barrel is. That's going to help you with your grouping not opening up so much, even though that barrel is supported in the standard Ruger. Being this short to the edge of the threads, you probably do want a bull barrel. And that is really the only other notable feature of this gun is it is very short. The barrel length is very small. For the specific reason of being able to add a suppressor and have not that long of an overall length. Not all that much longer than one of the long barrel profile Mark IVs, like the Target. The barrel length is very equivalent to those models. So a few things about the testing we did. We did 2 different hosts for the dead air mask. The dead air mask was the only suppressor we used to try to keep it consistent to the guns being the variable and not the suppressor. We shot a regular Ruger Mark IV light and then, of course, the Silencer Shop exclusive. And we only shot 2 different kinds of ammunition. We did CCI Mini Mag and CCI Quiet. There is a lot of different ammunition out there that may add variation to this data, but we tried to go for kind of either end of the spectrum. Very, very slow or on the higher end of speed for 22s. And we feel that gives a pretty good sample size. The variation in the middle between different brands and such, keeping it within one brand, one type of powder that they're using for each load, and then, of course, either end of the spectrum. We feel that gets us the most consistent numbers for why we were even doing the testing, which does the gun affect the velocity for different ammunition types with a suppressor. We shot just at 10 yards through a chronograph and chronoed each individual shot. We grouped them together, so you have your first round, and as the suppressor heats, you can see the numbers for each individual shot. We had strings of 5 for each pistol, and then each type of ammunition within that pistol. So we had this theory that the overall shorter barrel length before the suppressor would limit the muzzle velocity, or the velocity at the muzzle, just a little bit. Not enough to really hamper the projectile itself, but to be the difference between that bleeding edge of supersonic. And that was the case, as you saw from all the numbers. Putting mini mags in the Silencer Shop exclusive gets you consistently under that 1,000 feet per second. We only had one that went above, and I would say that's a little enough variation to call it consistent. The average was 938.8 feet per second with mini mags out of the exclusive, as compared to 1,064 out of the standard Mark IV light, 1,064 feet per second. So you do get just enough reduction in barrel length to get near 100% dead quiet rounds. If you have shot a suppressed pistol with 22, there is this idea that all ammunition is subsonic out of a 22 pistol. That's not always the case. You have enough variation in those loads, and they're just right on the edge enough to where you can get supersonic crack out of a pistol. Enough variation in the powder, or slightly just in how the projectile flies, and you'll get a loud round for no reason, whereas this gets you consistently under supersonic, which is cool. Aside from just being an overall shorter package, you do have that added benefit. Obviously, quiets would not cycle out of this, but even with the CCI quiets, it was much slower then as well. The average was 596.2 feet per second out of the exclusive, and then 631.4 feet per second out of the standard Mark IV. So aside from it being overall heavier, you don't really have any downsides to this. The group size was good out of both pistols. We shot them quite extensively on and off camera, and I did not see a degradation in accuracy whatsoever with the slightly shorter barrel. I think you get into the point of it being a negligible difference. I mean, I'm sure it is less accurate at a distance that you would not shoot a 22 pistol, so we don't really have to be concerned with the barrel length affecting the accuracy. So a short barrel Ruger Mark IV specifically for suppression is not new to this design. There was a lot of people that were buying Ruger Mark IVs and having the barrels chopped and threaded by gunsmiths specifically for this purpose. Silencer Shop, I'm guessing, saw all of that happening and saw an opportunity. And you can buy one of these for much cheaper than buying a Ruger Mark IV and setting it off and having a bunch of work done to it. So it's a very good value proposition for just being able to special order one. However, that does lend itself to, why would you want this? Why would you want this instead of a regular Ruger Mark IV, which is an exceptionally good pistol? You really do need to specifically want to suppress it. Without adding the suppressor into this whole picture, this gun is kind of weird. I mean, you just have a really short barrel Ruger Mark IV, stops right there. There's not a lot of point to it. The whole idea for this is if you have a suppressor or want to get one and suppress a 22 pistol. Outside of that, I would not buy one of these. If you don't have a suppressor, if you don't plan on getting one, do not buy the Silencer Shop exclusive. It's not going to gain you anything. This gun is entirely designed for use with a suppressor. So it does limit its customer base a little bit, but there are those of us that have suppressors or want to get them. This is an excellent option for suppressing a 22 pistol. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. In addition, check out our social media. If you like what you see, give us a follow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.